So, was hat denn jetzt hier Heroes Heart? Hanzo, der Haka, Maje, Vanubara, Tyrande, Team Liquid, Liming, Garrosh, Rainer, Weichsträhne, Blaze. Hat sind dann noch auf den Schlachtfeld.
Starting as early level 1, respecting the macro control and the garage counterplay by Liquid, going for that pressure in top and then that on bottom. But you are right, that level 1 for minute 1 fight over, probably going to be that Sapper Cave with the brush shot coming in. That is where this is really going to turn up for these teams. Just watch your mini-map and look for the Blaze at the top of the mini-map right now. When he starts to make that rotation down, somebody's going to play around that. If they can get a fast clear with the Hanzo, you can see the scouting out of the Sentinel. And if Dahaka, if Heroes Heart wants to come in, it's scary against the garage. You don't necessarily want to dive in there, but you always have that threat if you want to push that out there. But you can see the Blaze made the rotation down. All things normal as expected for teams of this caliber. And right now, Heroes Heart, though, they are the team that wants to be able to get those skirmishes more than that of Team Liquid. Team Liquid has a better post-10 team fight for the kill potential greater for Heroes Heart esports. Yes, the kill potential is going to be there for Heroes Heart post-10 due to the isolation, but that is demanding a lot of resources and a lot of heroics. And right now, they want to rely on their default pick. The only other way that I'm going to see a major upper hand here is I feel like it's a Team Liquid get to play into this laning phase, because Heroes Heart is losing in a macro front over the laning phase, and that's never good here with their kill potential comp. It will get a little easier at level 4. Hanzo, we traditionally see that scatter arrow build for some of the camp control, but the explosive arrow, when you don't have that type of wave clear, could be the pickup and making that wave clear easier. He does go explosive arrow at 4. So that was a moment where I agree with you. Team Liquid might have been able to force their advantage. They tried to look for the pick, didn't get it. Now both teams sitting at 4, so we're about 45 seconds away from this game really kicking off with the objective. For now, Heroes Heart is comfortable getting that kind of tri-lane pressure on the bottom half. Angry with Ishbu there, scouting out with the Beetle. Just going to use that for a solid amount of dismount. And as you said, as at level 4 there for Crone, we got the explosive arrows and suddenly macro control in favor of Heroes Heart. But that is only going to last until we hit the heroic threshold. 22 seconds out from our very first triple altar phase of the game, with the global and the team of Heroes Heart and kill potential in their favor, still going to lean towards them here over this first fight phase. Well, here we go. We are seconds away. See how these teams approach this. During the triple altar phase, you know there's going to be a point of contention for one of these. And Sportbilly's positioning already says that we are looking to take control over this bottom area, looking to control the flank, see if he can get the flip. Ishbu will have to deny. In the meantime, we see both teams. There's actually a slight denial in that top right by Heroes Heart. Here we go. Stack of scattering in the Sentinel, though. Oh, look at that. Barashot coming in from McIntyre. Neurok in a bad spot with a 2-man infield. The Lunar Flare comes in, and that is going to be first blood for Heroes Heart esports. Follow-up drag lands on the Sportbilly body block there, and Heroes Heart claim a double kill. That's how you want to see it if you're a fan here. You can hear the crowd erupting there. There's going to be the tether onto Eternal, but that is a Blaze. He'll be able to get away, but Heroes Heart with the early control will go up 36-32 behind that double. Now they've got that slight experience advantage to go with it. Cheeky plays here from Heroes Heart, but I gotta bring it back to Planet Earth here really quick, crowd, because we have to remember that the advantage exists 1 through 9 in the name of Heroes Heart esports. This could look very, very different once we get post-heroic threshold. But we'll see if that is going to be the case, because Heroes Heart can find ways to snowball this macro pressure with this kill potential into a double sapper, gaining momentum when it comes to macro. When that happens, the Dahaka problem gets very, very real, very, very fast right now. But you can see Ishbu, he sniffed out that camp. He's like, wait a minute, nobody's on this. Do we? Don't we? Do we? Don't we? You can see the decision making there. If they can wait on that Dahaka to have that global up, maybe they make a play. Sappers move in, get some early damage in. Ishbu will peel by himself, keeping Sportbilly at bay. Always a threat on that Garrosh. A 7 picked up here by Team Liquid. Maya making the transition over towards top. It might be a problem, but Ishbu actually counter-throwing down below. Got a nice burrow charge to find his way out of that. Blaze, though, not too heavily threatened there. Thornhill is just fine. Actually, I say that with Dragon there blanding. He's got beating blocked. Oh, McIntyre unable to find enough autos to get that in a nice penetrating round from Hasu, saying, I got your back here. And we're going to be waiting out now here towards this next altar phase. And conveniently enough, 25 seconds out.
Dread, you know he was probably one auto attack away from getting that cooldown reduction on another drag, just getting behind there, but the threat is real. With that countdown, we do find ourselves 15 seconds away. If this is a single alter phase, the global in favor of Heroes Heart. See if maybe they can play the stall game. We've seen that before in this position. You've got the stalling from a Hanzo, from the Toronto with that extra range, even the blades, the impale that can come out from a Nubarak. So you have several tools for Heroes Heart. See how they address this and whether Team Liquid might be able to force the advantage early.
And it's important to note, because of that double stall you talked about between the Hanzo and Toronto, Maiev is very comfortable just clearing midway for free.
Verknotet euch nicht.
For Heroes Heart, if they would like to do so, but for now it's a 4-man commitment. Make sure to rid of some of those sappers as Ishbu threatening back there with a nice groundbreaker.
9.5 and climbing for Heroes Heart. See, now that Blaze is showing top, if Dahaka will pull the trigger and go ahead and come mid, but with Leeming showing, it seems like Heroes Heart will be able to move forward, Dread. Looks like another altar will be channeled here for Heroes Heart.
And with that, going to find Team Liquid score down to 20.
Die drängen sie langsam ein bisschen zurück.
You do want to bring it back to the fact that I think this game could look different with the heroics, but if the double cocoon, or excuse me, the double isolation between the containment disc and from the cocoon coming out hits the Blaze and the White Mane, that is a dead Leeming, pick a character, it doesn't matter, they're going down, they have no opportunity to be able to find a way out of that situation. That is going to be the heroic choice to pick up, even getting ourselves a Starfall here for BBJ.
We're actually not seeing the double isolation now. Interesting pickup. We'll see how that plays out as we go forward. See if they can maybe just get the raw isolation, coming in by way of an actual heroic call down.
There is an interesting kind of circumstance here that I might argue is part of the reason we don't see the full double isolation, and that is if they can find a way to be able to threaten the White Mage. She's the highest priority. When Bunker comes out, you know who's very, very good at dealing with everybody hiding in a nice little bunker? It's that Starfall dropping on top of so many members. It really preps the team up for a nice kill situation here. I do wonder, is that too bold of a call out though from Heroes Heart Esports against a rival team like Team Liquid?
Well, they love their combos. We'll see if they can pull it off. 11-10 here for Heroes Heart. Another sapper camp picked up, continuing to maintain vision. There's that owl. Hami's like, wait a minute. You can see that Rainer's Raider just kind of sniffing. When you know that's around, that means Rainer's around, and Rainer never travels alone. He always has support nearby. As Crowan landing some shots there on Scorpilly as he passes by.
Yeah, usually when you find Rainer with, a solo vacation, the vacation doesn't last too long. He's quickly finds his way back home very quick. Jab propulsion going to be warned there by Ishbu. Nice protection over Growing, knowing 9 seconds out from this solo alter phase. As we were talking about the last time though, the Dahaka macro pressure with the sappers, Maiev getting the clear through mid. This is another great moment for Heroes Heart if they can stall.
Yeah, stall is the name of the game. We'll see if they can go in. There's one stall right there. See if they can get another good movement here. Nobody eating that Sentinel there. There's another one. Ishbu, see if he can go forward, get one of his own. But now Hami comes in. That's going to be the reset on the fan. We'll go ahead and get out of dodge there as that sapper camp's picked up. And now they can continue to play that sapper game in that top lane. Team Liquid, they've got to make something happen. They can't continue to give up control elsewhere because now 13 is the threat right now.
Now putting Team Liquid in a lose-lose scenario. They find themselves with a 5-man opportunity. Scorpilly split for the rest of the team. Lunar Flare goes out. Nice delay there by Etherno. Dahaka still prepping up on top. Natural agility use of throwing can escape outward, but Team Liquid now knowing they have the main advantage is getting kind of aggressive here, willing to posture up.
Well, here we go. Ishbu will get another delay. 13 round beat here for Heroes Heart. See if they can maybe make something happen. Dahaka getting that mid lane. Ishbu, that's going to be the cut. That's going to be kill number 1 there, and that just stalls all momentum.
Der erste Kill gerade noch, oh Mann.
Does not have a realistic opportunity to get that 20-second delay. It's even longer than that when you consider the travel time of the Nubarak over. Willing to sacrifice this, set the core down to 32, and suddenly Team Liquid is back in a very realistic position to claim this game because that goes different. We see that stall, the 13 break, and that picked up. I suddenly go, how can Team Liquid recover in this game? So great play here from that.
Couldn't agree with you more. That one's a great play. Speaking of plays, we've got isolation hit on Egg, followed up Drake. That is a perfect play by McIntyre to land the isolation, have it timed perfectly to land that drag. There is no bunker, nothing that can save him there. So a perfect play made up there by Heroes Heart. They said, look, we gave up one, let's get one in back.
Yeah, very well done here. Heroes Heart maybe finding another, forcing out that indomitable out from Scorpilly. That's a crowd control kind of cleanse that he may want there. H2 not feeling totally comfortable to pull the trigger yet with Maiev. Slow to make the transition to this southern lane.
That top lane. If we get this control for Heroes Heart on that side, you know that can just mean control of the bottom lane inevitably because Team Liquid would have to respond to that over time, barring no kills like the blow-up team fights we've seen. That bottom lane control is where you want it. The top lane is good, Dread, but it's all for situational control later in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I'm going to claim top, and really what I'm doing is buying bottom in 5 minutes. It's kind of the play that you see in this type of situation. It's definitely a long-term here for Heroes Heart Esports if we get that conversion. For anybody wondering what that maybe looks like, Heroes Heart put up a clinic against Tempest on towers to do with that exact same play. Yes, there is no Illidan here, so maybe not as good of domination on that macro sense, but still very, very similar to that playstyle. 20 seconds out, double altars available, and now it's a dead even game. Unlikely to see Heroes Heart get that delay tactic put for the 16 threshold like we saw over the last whole.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that because you're almost 15 and 16 is there. The delay seems great. The experience would be nice, but we saw what happens. Eventually, you've got to make the perfect play so many times. And we'll see, but the Haka's coming in. There's going to be the toss taunt. In comes the Haka. He's going to try and make the play. They're diving in, Dread.
Arcane are able to get the teleport out, but there is Whiteman along with the Warden's Cage into the fray, flipping out there. Now Eternal unable to hit the jet propulsion because of that Warden's Cage lockdown. That's 3 heroics here for the 4 up Team Liquid. They're willing to move up. Growing gets interrupted there. Yet to see the teleport coming out from McIntyre friends pull themselves back.
Probably just getting reset after reset on those spans, just stacking up that damage. Both are still available. See if one team splits off here. The bottom point is the point of contention for now. Hanzo's getting into that back line, I believe, to confirm that channel. See if they can maybe double up on him.
And Team Liquid is just so split up here in this decision making, unable to find that interrupt. They did get it once more, but McIntyre zoning off. That's 4 shots for Heroes Heart Esports, not at the cost of bottom, at least not yet. To the ward by Sport Billy. Great job there. Scatter arrow, unable to connect it. Hatsu finds himself a counter, 4 shots.
I think you pointed it out there. It was all about that sentinel grab there by Sport Billy on the front line to stop the bleeding. The threat of 16 starting to spring up here for Heroes Heart. Heroes Heart, though, they do have that 4-shot lead, but this is Towers of Doom. We know anything can happen on this map. It just feels like Heroes Heart has this control for now. They're got the full level lead, making plays. We're still waiting for Team Liquid. They might have to play right here.
Ball down, no escape opportunity. He is on an island by himself. There is the slow and a reset there, achieved by our Caner. Great job from Eternal, identifying the homicidal. Burns every cooldown possible to escape that. Says, boys, we found ourselves a nice little bait here. And they end up getting a kill, and it could not come at a better time to buy some breathing room in that 16 talent tier window.
It's all about the adaptation throughout the game. He's been doing it so much where it's a matter, he ease, and then he's like, all right, look, I'm going to go in, I'm going to try and get a few Qs off, get a little harassment going, and then he ease out. And they've been reading this, seeing this happen over and over. Now, as the game goes on, they're like, wait a minute, we can turn this, we can make up this ground. So for Hami, maybe it's time to dial those poke style back, because every kill at this stage of the game can mean a major turn as we go on. The Sappers in the top getting some damage in against Heroes Heart.
And the thought process there for Homicidal was actually definitely justifiable, though it was very risky. He broke Fog onto the Blaze, so he was like, if he jet propulsion instantly, this would hit me now. Drops the ball, he quickly goes, oh, there's no jet propulsion behind that one. Might have given you up there. And there, but talking about upper hand, not going to be for Heroes Heart very long. It's 16 is just around this corner, 14 Liquid trying to get the defense. And we have ourselves another triple altar phase. Compositionally speaking, still getting this over to Heroes Heart. But we'll see if Liquid can find a way to out-macro and out-rotate North America.
Well, here we go. Tahaka already in position. Ishbu wants to get out of dodge before Sport Billy moves in, knowing that he doesn't have that available. Ishbu's positioning very cautious, very safe. And comes to Haka on the right side, though, Dread.
Yeah, trying to find that Dragon. Dominable use Dragon. There's going to be a win. Turn down the warning.
Meine Güte, absoluter Krieg.
Ja, wie immer, oder?
Ja. Boah, da hat's die Menge. Boah. Holy shit, Alter.
Looks for the altar, and he finds it.
There we go. Heroes Heart will find themselves up 24 to 16 as they look to maybe gain some more control over this battleground as the lead mounts some more here as we round the 14.5-minute mark. And Heroes Heart, they are full 5-man in, trying to take control of this bottom lane. It's still too early. They don't necessarily have the sieging comp to really burst this down, Drush.
But the anti-siege is also not so easy or great there for Team Liquid, not having Arcane on the lead main. It's very difficult for them to really kind of threaten that back. Arcaner is going to be back online now for Liquid. And before things get a little bit too wild, Jay Howe, I want to bring it back to the draft and some of the things done there with the high garage value that we can expect from Sport Billy and friends. Heroes Heart in game, not only in the draft, but in-game is adjusting their playstyle to abuse his failure to be able to initiate. They're constantly going, hey, do you want to deal with this here? And the answer is no, sport really can't get on top of it, so then we threaten elsewhere. This kind of back and forth is the only reason they find themselves leading here on Towers of Doom.
Here we go. Control the calm before the storm, so to speak, right now as we get to the later stages of the game. It will be double altar phase, Dreadnought, where it's left, right. Generally, we'll see teams maybe just be very passive, trade willingly, but you might not have to trade, and that's going to be Ishbu getting blown up and caught out in rotation.
Great job there for Liquid, and it felt like the last kill was very conveniently timed, but this one, maybe even more so, as that is going to be a 10-second difference between that double altar phase and Ishbu being alive, not even considering the travel time. That is a minimum 5 seconds, likely going to be more, about 10. So what I'm trying to say here is 20 seconds of breathing room to be very, very aggressive over this next altar phase for Team Liquid, and considering that they've got themselves sappers on bottom to demand answers, this is looking like a great breaking point and turning point for Liquid.
Yeah, the rotation for Heroes Hearth right now is a little slow. We'll see if Team Liquid can get into position, because now they have the availability to get the early cap on their own altar, although we do see that top right bell tower claimed. Now we'll see there's one delay. Ishbu now respawning, see if they have enough delays to come in here. BBJ trying to get an angle, making sure to get that Sentinel in, but in goes Hami.
Ball down, and there's the Warlord's challenge is actually a bit of a miss there. Suddenly, Heroes Hearth gets a great It's the
Whoa.
flare, and the infinite fray is going to be able to save out for long. Now we see Sport Billy trying to get the retreat. Hornets Cage into the thrown down to homicidal.
Junge, mach dir keinen Knoten, Alter.
And Liquid fight back.
Well, we're trying to get the channel in. If you're Heroes Hearth, they do get it. That or just misses there. Crowing though. In comes the reset. Calamity comes in. Confirms a kill. That's a double in favor.
Holy shit, Alter.
Despite the shots going over to Heroes Hearth with the lead, they now may be giving up control. And Team Liquid starting to pick up steam here, Dre.
Team Liquid is very much being able to pick up steam, but they have to find a way to get back.
Boah. Haben sie sich runtergeprügelt, doch, du Heilige.
Likely after maybe a boss picks up, we'll see what they want to prioritize here, and that is going to be the case. I will argue, I almost would have liked to see, though I don't think that this boss is going to be safer in this decision-making, macro control over boss control. Macro control is where Heroes Hearth, if they're going to recover and dominate throughout this game, that's the place they're going to do it. And Heroes Hearth, or Liquid, excuse me, is being a little bit slow to answer that. Though they are going to get the conversion, they're still going to give a lot of area and time for Heroes Hearth to counter push, and that could be a big setback.
Yeah, you'll essentially have a soft reset. Remember, when that portal opens is the same time these bell towers turn into keeps, which means more XP when you get that. So that middle will be reclaimed by Heroes Hearth, and you'll see the experience on both of these teams take down these bell towers. There's 20 for Heroes Hearth, and there's 20 for Team Liquid, but Heroes Hearth has the ever important number, Dreadnought, that's 17 to 11 in terms of core health.
17
Nein,
to 11. Heroes Hearth. I feel like at the end of this game, maybe looking back to that
Der Megakrieg.
this was what kept us here into this game. Sport Billy sharking around here as we sit 22 seconds out from the double altar between the middle and bottom. Bell towers are dead even across the board. And we've got to keep our eyes on Sport Billy. He has been the key playmaker here for Team Liquid. Every time they've got the upper hand, there's the indomitable flip on the crowing. Do they get the kill? No, yet natural agility over the wall. And look at this, Sport Billy's out of here.
There's going to be one. The bunker goes down. All three members dive in for now. See if they try and make some plays here, because there is a lot of playmaking potential. When they have, Hami goes in just out of range. Double altars are up right now. McIntyre comes in. Team Liquid, Dreadnought, if they give up both, they will be down to 3 core health. See if Team Liquid can maybe try and deny one of these, but Heroes Hearth is in a very good position right now.
With 40-second man advantage, as you said, that is likely going to be those shots and the 3 remaining. The question is where do they find those elsewhere? That boss pick up by Team
einer nimmt schon mal.
opportunity, but sappers are available everywhere onto the battleground, and that is where Heroes Hearth is going to focus themselves now. Already having homicidal pick that up.
Nur noch 3 kleine Punkte noch und dann puff.
Heroes Hearth, 3 sappers can end it. Garage 10 seconds away. If maybe they look to just get control over this battleground, those sappers will warrant a response. Hami and team looking to move over somewhat to this mid lane. We'll see how they approach this. Heroes Hearth, whether they go for it or whether they look to play maybe a longer game with this amount of lead. 17 to 3, the sappers come forward, but Arcader and team here to defend.
Ja, verteidigt die Kleinen. Das ist jetzt bitter nötig, ne? Naja, fast.
But because of the lack of macro control into their favor, in their name currently, they have to answer and deal with Heroes Hunter. We have McIntyre in the side lanes, building up that macro pressure over and over again, and then that is going to set them and enable them here for a big power play with Brush Shot in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it just, you can see the Blaze has to respond to those lanes, and then at a moment's notice, McIntyre can join on that bottom right bush you see in your screen to join this to make it a 5-on-5, a 5-on-4, which is, you see a thermal down here. All hands on deck here for Team Liquid to try and regain control, because it is 30 seconds away from what could be the final and game-deciding altar here. We'll find out momentarily.
Spore building, moving to cut off the choke here. Nice scanner arrow out from Crowley, able to get vision and poke and fly to the members of Liquid. 5 minutes of collapse here from Team Liquid, 12 seconds out. Heroes on this very split around this corner. Nice lunar flare, big scatter arrow from Crowley, forcing out the jet propulsion. Now 5 seconds on the altar, but Liquid is already down here in this fight.
There we go, Ishbu, he's lost him taunted. They're trying to get the breakdown, not able to confirm this.
Boah, das Puppengeschlachte wieder, ey.
There's the cocoon out in response. The altar still stands here. Plenty of heroics to be had for both teams, but a lot was used on the side of Team Liquid.
But the biggest thing is the Warden's Cage, Dragon's Arrow, and the Shadow Sucker all available. A huge wombo combo initiation for Heroes Heart as they find the Sentinel interrupt. Kazuwa trying to find another impale is going to deny that. There's a jet propulsion, the huge flip over. No Warlord challenge in response. Downfall going to be thrown down. Connects, but BBJ is not going to give the reset over to Arcaner. Nice groundbreaker. There's Sport Billy looking over towards Ishbu. Jet
Na
propulsion
Leute.
almost about to be thrown out, but he's not going to commit. Here we go. Dragon's Arrow, and they find the pick. Arcaner.
Leben ist weg.
Will he be the last? Is there, we're going to see Sport Billy. He's trying to survive. That's going to be a double. Let's go ahead and try and make it for us. He's going to take down Team Liquid. As you can see, Sport Billy trying to survive, trying to hold on right now, but he was hard.
Blaze ist weg.
Let's go ahead.
Garrosh ist weg.
Let's make it 4, and you know what?
Alle sind weg.
Ja, alle, so gut wie. Alle 5. Jetzt haben alle 5 erstmal, ja. Ziemlich Abklingzeit, ja, aber das nützt denen ja nicht mehr. Bug und Papp. Mordsmäßig, Alter.
Ratatong, 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 tong. Bubbel? Kabubbel, mabubbel. Kabubbel, bubbel.
Wenn wir es denn mal so weit haben.
Stimmt der Knopf da?
Heute noch.
Begib dich auf eine Reise.
Heute noch, ihr Schweine. Mein Gott, nicht labern.
Nicht lauern.
On the tracer, Nurok on
Handeln.
Miranda, and Hasuam will be on the Jano. So as much hype as we gave the man, the myth, the legend.
Na, was haben wir denn jetzt hier? Olle Heroes Heart, Hanzo, Blaze, Garrosh, das Phoenix, glaube ich, und Deckard Kane. Die anderen haben Anubarak, die Lost Vikings, Jaina, Tracer, Tyrande. Okay, sehr interessant.
Was? Oder weil es ihm Spaß macht, da zu liegen. Nicht mehr Gast zu Sony wollen.
I mean, you have the wave clear with the Phoenix, but one thing that Phoenix does against a Tracer is
Peak.
when you get the pulse bomb on you, if you time your warp correctly, that pulse bomb just detonates on nothing. It's a straight effort. Just no damage, no problem. So there are several reasons behind that. We'll see how it unfolds, because this is a very unique draft. When you have numbers advantage, you can maybe make some plays, but Ishbu did a lot of damage, including the pulse bomb. However, they will get the first kill onto the Anubarak, and Heroes Heart has executed and taken away this siege camp away from Team Liquid.
Really good job there from Ishbu, getting a lot of damage coming out to him early on, able to hit the whole pulse bomb at a healthy percentage to make sure that the armor adds up, he can keep himself alive. And then, as I said, in the draft, the second that Anubarak comes out, what is the game plan for Heroes Heart? It is squash the bug. That is something I think we will see throughout this game. And already see Heroes Heart capitalize on that. I'm going, Etherno, you've got to justify his Lost Vikings pick.
Alles kriegt.
The stuns come in, and you continue to take damage, but that is a very tanky hero. When you see the Anubarak, everywhere you see a Dreadnought, it's primarily with a Urel if you look at the Korean region, but beyond that, it's really the Blaze. For the very reason, because he's going to top very quickly. We'll see how exactly he holds up his holding position. Arcader coming in to stun the bomb, and that's going to be a kill there for Team Liquid.
In a really good position for one of those Vikings to be able to make the transition up and pick that up. We already see Homicide waiting on the side, though. He will be able to get that clear. Blaze dealing with that Eric on the top lane. And a kill on the bottom half in the process. Team Liquid winning on all fronts.
Look, Dread, they've got firepower galore. When you talk about the Jaina and the Tracer, the power on that Tracer is terrifying, showing that he is one of the best. When we talked to him previous going into Blizzcon, he said, I want to be the best. I've worked so hard at this. He has convinced me that he is one of the best. Some of his play throughout opening week has been stellar. He's going to continue to try and make plays here. He's also going to grab first DK in the game here for Team Liquid.
And Team Liquid, the more they're able to open up this map, the better. As Heroes Hunt has been able to find that macro control with that triple wave clear and those solo lanes like I was talking about before. And if that doesn't happen and structural integrity goes in favor of Team Liquid, they could be in a position where the playground for that Jaina and the Tracer, Arcaner there, suddenly gets a lot bigger, and that is when she is a thriving hero. Suddenly the kill potential becomes, it's not even close really. The only hero that can keep up with that is going to be an Illidan here. So Liquid, as they focus down the front walls, find themselves with a big tone setter, but by no means is this too far out of the range considering the cost of Heroes Hunt.
Well, Heroes Hunt will defend for now, but they do find themselves down in terms of experience. They're doing their best to hold those lanes. You can just watch your mini-map and watch that Blaze move up and down, trying to get that double lane soak while the rest of the team trying to keep up and deal with the Dragon Knight. But Team Liquid, with that first DK, the first few kills after that initial loss of the invade, seems to be saying, hey, this is a real strat. Good luck dealing with it. And Heroes Hunt, they've got a lot to do to adapt along the way.
And I think one of the starting points for that adaptation is going to be mercenaries. Not only in the invade, but mainly when it comes to the priority of them and which ones we see stacked versus not stacked from Heroes Hunt Esports. And the downside Liquid looking at sort of mercenaries, and they're going to find it for themselves. Blaze dealing with that with both Vikings sieging up, that's actually a very good, difficult position for him. So Heroes Hunt, though they have the double stack on bottom, I still feel like they're the ones who have to figure out a solution over this mercenary. Personally, I actually think it's worth it. Sitting on bottom like Robo's going to set them back quite a bit here.
Well, you can actually see the prioritization of Jaina fits so well because she has the wave clear. Arcaner even using that pulse bomb on the other Siege Giant to clear that out. That's where a lot of the damage comes in. But the Night Camp still healthy here as Heroes Hunt pushing in this bottom lane, trying to get some of this experience back. And it looks like Dread, they're going to take the first fort of the game.
They're going to take the first fort of the game, but they are sacrificing the experience on top. That Night Camp with the double Vikings is very likely going to pick up the fort eventually.
Dread, they are going in.
Yeah, the answer is that why do you see Heroes Hunt doing this? It's they realize that they keep dancing, they're never going to keep up. So if we just five-man bottom and all in, we can make up for that into the earlier stages. Yes, this is good for now, but eventually they still have to answer and find a way to get themselves a reasonable and realistic engagement.
Yeah, you make a good point because once you push in once, the next time, I mean, you're literally walking into a keep, maybe more, and right now the structures fall. Heroes Hunt Dread with that Knight still alive, providing that spell armor, now moves into keep range. Arcaner trying to track down the slope. The stun coming in for Hasu, continuing to track down, just misses that bolt there, and now Heroes Hunt, they got the entire fort, they got the keep wall, but as you mentioned, they gave up that top lane. The Vikings, though, face a similar situation.
And as the game moves, those Vikings will be able to take through a lot of the shrines and threaten that Dragon Knight more and more frequently. And Jay, how I feel like there's already a moment we can look to in the future that if Heroes Hunt struggles in, it may be a very bad circumstance for them. And that is over the next stacking of mercenaries on bottom. This Dragon Knight should go over to Liquid. Liquid should have a big power spike over the next couple of minutes. But then when Heroes Hunt suddenly does the exact same thing that we just saw,
Tage wollte er den Wetter kochen.
failed to be able to pick up that bottom keep, suddenly this game goes Liquid's favor from beginning to end, and it's all dinked to
Halt noch ein paar Stunden, morgen noch, das Wochenende wird auch noch belagert. Es muss leider sein. Ist ja halt normalerweise nicht unbegrenzt verfügbar. Da kann man ja nicht. Wir versuchen uns auch zu beeilen, meine Güte. Das ist sowieso.
Dragon Knight still falling very low, but only a there is only a Viking within this series. That may be too concerning if you are this little Olaf, though it is sad to see your friend go down. He's only 1/3 of a hero, and that is not
That's about as hashtag worth as it gets right there. Team Liquid coming out with a strategy and executing it here as we round the 7-minute mark. They have a level and a half lead over Heroes Heart.
Mercenaries are available, at least Giants. Bottom mercenaries soon. Then we see Ishbu going to be a focus. He's got a heal there. Dragon's Arrow ends up going through. He's very low. The armor there. DeSalvo goes out. And look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh!
But
Shows no mercy. Natural agility over. And gets a kill for Heroes Heart.
I thought he might have got away with one because that burrow charge out was timely, but the track down a little better there as Team Liquid still holds that full level lead, but Heroes Heart, they needed that kill. That buys them some time to start to get control of the map again. You mentioned that bottom lane push and the top lane push respectively by Heroes Heart and Team Liquid. Heroes Heart, see what adaptability they have going forward now, because with that bottom lane down, do you make another push towards that double camp? And it looks like they're going to do just that.
If you are Heroes Heart in this situation, I would love to see the Giants, or excuse me, the Giants in the Knights in the Giants play. There's a 20-second difference from that bottom Knight camp, which is just about to spawn for Heroes Heart Esports. You see the Giants picked up. Here's going to be the stacking of the mercenaries. And honestly, J-House taking a fight into the best fights Heroes Heart is going to play. I like this call from Heroes Heart Esports, but as I said before, this could be a huge, huge breaking point.
See if Heroes Heart can repeat that earlier push as they have part of the team split, but no
Gab da noch keine davon.
yet for Heroes Heart. Camp picked up.
Traum.
Shrines active here in 10 seconds. Siege camp done with Heroes Heart. They've got some more questions to answer.
Zarek able to make it himself out.
Umtrauber hatte ich, aber die anderen nicht.
Giant camp picked up by Team Liquid, able to screw away from that one as we already see Top trying in control.
Traubennuss.
Liquid makes it one of those going for it. Yeah, they have to again.
Der Jan hatte sich ja mal verschleppt.
Ja, der wieder abgegeben hat, weil...
Ja, man sollte voll überleben, ne?
Wenn sie wieder so halt so preisgünstig hätten, ne, für 54 Cent oder was das war. Ja? Das war wirklich verschenkt.
Muss weg, weil...
Edelbitter, 73% Kakaoanteil.
Ach so. Weihnachtszelt wird sowieso alles, muss sowieso alles raus, das ist sowieso falsch.
Nutze die Macht.
Was du gemacht?
So ist das Wurstkäse.
Was? Bitte? Das ist mir. Gibt's hier noch einen Kaffee?
Musst du dein Stunt-Double fahren?
Ja, so. Und jetzt, haut sie alle weg!
Wow, da war Jaina weg.
Haut sie weg! Ladies and Gentlemen, jetzt geht's ran mit dem jungen Hund.
Er sieht ein bisschen beschissen aus.
Haut sie weg!
Oh, that owl hit, that's the slowing at the 13, that's going to help confirm another kill here. BBJ's going to have to sacrifice himself.
Die Lost Vikings sind verschwunden. Nee, ich warte irgendwie immer noch auf gewisse Charaktere. Nice.
Keep for keep of Heroes Heart Esports. They need to force an advantage, and more importantly, a Dragon Knight J-Howe with this 16 talent tier advantage. Otherwise, Heroes Heart, Crow and post-bombed over actually survives. Otherwise, Heroes Heart is going to double stack mercenaries and all in the game once again through bottom. And if the Dragon Knight's not there, it might be going the other way, unlike what we saw here so far through most of this game, and Liquid very much in control.
Dread, we've seen Heroes Heart. First push down that bottom lane, got all the way through. Second push, made it all the way to the core and fell there. Are we gonna see a third? I mean, their answers so far have been just push down that bot lane as hard as you can, trade out as much, but with this deficit in experience, it's very difficult to come back in these situations.
Yeah, one of the few ways that you can make up for this composition is only if you identify very, very early into the game, and that is running a very aggressive 2-1-2. Whenever the Vikings are sitting out elsewhere, they can't defend against a two-man siege. Neither can really a 2 vs 2 with the Vikings themselves. So you just go, where is Liquid? We pressure on the opposite side of the map. Get that back and quick. Heroes did not do this fast enough, and at this point, they have legitimately all their
Kaffeesplitter. Kaffee kann man sich gleich schenken, Alter. Ich hasse Kaffee. Im mehreren Sinne. Heißwässriges Zeug. Ja, irgendwie ja.
Leider ist so ein scheiß Wetter.
Dana's gonna be the focus. Walker goes down, he can still the kill. 4 heroes of esports down to talent here, and they do not care.
A2 Blessings is pop still while not able to grab somebody in place, but they might try and make a play of their own, see if they can pick up a DK. The warp out of that pulse spawn was enough to keep Hami alive in the clutchest of situations.
And Jay with all the preparation done now in that southern lane, though the Knights will be able to secure that top 4. Heroes Heart is not looking for keeps anymore. They are looking for a way to end this game. No Barker to be able to siege up the core for
So was für dich vielleicht?
They will find a way to break that.
Sieht so aus.
Well, here we go. They're willing to give up that top key. They're willing to make their own play. The decision has been made here. Heroes Heart will pick up the night camp here in the
Was soll ich denn da machen jetzt?
getting close for Team Liquid, and now Heroes Heart Dreadnought. Their sights are set as you can see them clearing this bottom lane. Here we go.
Look at this hammer from Liquid. Will Heroes Heart
Backdoor.
Da ist irgendjemand gestresst.
No, Team Liquid is going to go for the core before Heroes Heart can even make their way in.
Backdoor.
Via base race, shielding already removed by Team Liquid. No way for Heroes Heart to be able to get the defense. There is the play against Vikings, wailing away.
Naja, schau mich nur blöd an.
Team Liquid fight back and claim game number 2, tying up this series 1-1.
We got ourselves a series.
Great play there from Team Liquid and an amazing display of how to use the Lost Vikings on a small battleground. For so long, they were rumored to be the only uncursed hollows and things of the like. But as we see, it is not the case here at the HGC Finals.
Not even close. Not close at all. Don't worry about it. Calculated.
At this point, Homie is already moving in. He's
Ich dachte schon, eigentlich ein Paket wäre das gewesen. Ah, das war der Ecke.
Ja, ja.
Was? Was ja, ja.
Fans, even though that might not be one of our strategies, so
So denken, oder? Vielleicht kommt das ja ein bisschen früher.
not going to be able to punish him.
Meinst du nicht?
Mann, ich Feuer
And one of the things I was wondering is within the 2-3 with the teamfight capabilities. Mount.
to which we know there's going to be a lot of action.
A lot of action, and it was such a bold statement, not so much when looking at just Heroes Heart, but knowing that at any level at the HGC Finals, North America is willing to put it all on the line. Already dominating when it comes to the control over the battleground itself. When looking at that lady situation, the fact that it's a 1-1 from Heroes Heart are understanding of the difficult circumstances that they are under. They need to find a way to set up an impale kill potential combo, but until we hit that 4th threshold with the explosive arrows, it is kind of out of the realm of possibility. So expect Liquid to be the bullies for the first couple of levels, and still likely a little bit beyond that threshold.
The Johanna band just plays into everything Team Liquid is trying to accomplish. So all those points you just made, so we'll see how that does play out here. It seems like that bottom lane control, when you have the Jaina, you can just double rotate. That bottom lane will require some attention over time. You can even see the play of those siege shadows potentially in the very near future.
Yeah, I think it was a really cheeky play within the 2-3 of the draft.
from Team Liquid with that high Phoenix adjustment, things of the like. The question is just, did that wave clear decision making within the draft pay off for the lack of URL and the vulnerabilities of knowing they don't have that Decker King like they have and find themselves on the Malfurion? And that really is what is going to come to light here on 2.
Dread, I can't help but go back to the words you said about it's about level 4 for Hanzo. So this is a great adaptation by Team Liquid. They're like, they have bad wave clear until level 4. You even get bonus on Zeratul. So let's force our advantage early. They're picking up a night camp before the siege shot because they have the significant wave clear. They have the pushing advantage. And before Heroes Heart has the wave clear, they're going to get caught here. He's in trouble. There's the groundbreaker. The agility will die. You can see Infernal just living on that front line as Ishmael and team trying to survive. But Hobby will be first blood.
Das hat jeder immer gewonnen, wa?
But then finding a way to gain the upper hand even further with some greedy kind of transitions out from them. This allows for 29 gems to be put on reserve for Team Liquid for now. But the biggest thing is the fact that the experience is pretty heavily against them. It should be known that mid lane is kind of big. That's going to help Heroes Heart catch up a smidge. But we're talking about a quarter level, a third of a level advantage already here for Liquid.
I think it's also important to note, Dread, you and I, we've watched a lot of Toon games. We always see if you get that early mid lane pressure, you get some damage, you take the gate down, but then you get some pressure onto those towers, maybe even take one down with that early camp.
Yeah.
Then that experience is banked in the fort when you get those wet weavers, and that's how we see teams potentially snowball in a sense. So it is a very real threat against Heroes Heart.
And I think it even gets worse when talking about the Jaina rotations you highlighted for Hatsu on that bottom lane. What that has done is made it like, if this first wet weaver phase goes to Liquid, they get the siege, get the fort, that bottom rotation is going to happen quick and likely a kill behind it with all the slows available for Eternal and friends. Because the distance of safety on bottom fort onto the Spider Queen is colossal compared to most small battlegrounds. A turn-in attempt here, kind of being boarded from both sides. As 20 gems exist here for Heroes Heart, it's still 29 for Liquid.
Team Liquid actually did something against Genji that was really special. They were on the right side as well. And with that rotation you mentioned, they just went through that small choke, dove that bottom fort, and every solo laner that I've ever seen get caught in that position never makes it out. And that's something that Heroes Heart will have to prepare for if that fort does fall early, but there's going to be another route to track down. Ami will live using that Pyromania though.
Very early use of the Pyromania. So we see Hanzo trying to get that threat onto Sport Billy. Crowin doing his best, but with so much threat done towards that bottom lane with the Blaze, I think it's unlikely Liquid, or excuse me, Heroes Heart can make too big of a power play at this point in time. Once the 7 threshold hits, Liquid would like to find a way to get those turn-ins, but J-Out, Heroes Heart is actually the one eking in these kind of baby turn-ins far quicker than Liquid.
Yeah, they'd love
Eternal.
to get those in. Eternal, he's going to be dove upon. See if he can survive. Eternal living, using everything he can to stay alive, and they're going to turn it. That's going to be a kill onto Ishbu. Every time you go in, Dreadnought, if you do not get a kill as a Nubarak, it is very difficult to make your way out. 10 will be needed now. Hobby's being tossed in.
Yeah, got the flip over, body block into the jet propulsion, roots down, and that is a double now for Team Liquid. Okay, get a triple. As they build a nice ground maker, natural agility allows Crowin to get the heal, get the tap, and survive. But my goodness, talking about dominant assertive here from Europe.
Now, does a
Rot ist schon wieder mal klar im Vorteil.
This is a very good call to get this camp to defend mid, but if this falls quickly, which Jaina can burst through that spell armor very rapidly with this bottom lane. I think this is why we see Ishbu down here. Blaze will make his way down, but if Team Liquid can get that push through that mid lane, they might make a quick rotation towards the bottom and try and get a gank and really try and spiral this game out of control. You can see Heroes Heart putting everything that they have into the defense here in mid lane.
Getting too much heavy aggression. This Tina is now going to make the rotation down. McIntyre dealing with the top wave. This is where Jaina would look for a pick and they can find it. Ishbu able to get a burrow charge away. Lunar Flare pushing Liquid back a little bit longer. Let's see their transition. Is it top or is it bottom? I'd like to see bottom with so much threat, but actually if you look at it, because the Thorno is already dominating there, yeah, it really would just be a bit of a wasted rotation. Normally you'd say this is the way you make that transition out, but at this point in time, the third was like, I'm Arthas, I've got bottom lane by myself, but let's figure something else out here. It's 10's just around the corner now.
That fort netted about 40% of the XP needed to go from 9 to 10, and now we're looking at 10 to 9 here momentarily. It's just still 8 3/4 for Heroes Heart, so they'll have to bide their time for now. And if we look at the gem count, Dreadnought, Team Liquid 1 gem shy, making it up for a turn-in. You can believe that's right there in that wave. So
It is something, though. We've seen teams, when you use everything you have, and McIntyre, he's not making it happen there.
Great job with the use of the welly there. That's part of the reason that was able to get that kill. Is Zeratul, if you end up getting the slow with one Ice Lance, he's going to use the teleport, but then if you drop that water elemental, get the auto attack slow, he's not going to wormhole back, and that is Hasu taking advantage not only of the heroics, but the mispositioning there of McIntyre. And now allowing the rest of the squad to drop some of those gems off, and as you were talking about before, having a back-to-back Webweaver phase with that heroic advantage, I mean, this is devastation when looking at, you know, ideal circumstances of two of the Spider Queen.
It's up to level 10 for Heroes Heart to get back into this game. They want it, they need it to get back in. But when you see a Fort fall potentially 2 with that threat up heroics, you're going to be looking at 11.5, 12 by the end of that. And then Team Liquid can maybe deny until they get to 13 and then play that 13 to 10, 13 to 11 game. So that's always the threat, the snowball potential of this map and the denial. But with Heroes Heart, they have the potential to take a team fight to really get aggressive post-level 10, even with a deficit. So it is it's such an interesting moment to see the way teams handle this, because compositionally it's different every single time.
And it does feel like it is a moment in a kind of a, you know, situations where if Heroes Heart cannot figure out how to deal with this, they'll find themselves a smart chopping. It's that bottom court. Like, so it's a little bit too long trying to score build, score build.
To tend to be pushing against them. Heroes Heart, but you can see the positioning very cautious with Sportbilly trading out stuns there as Ishbu and Sportbilly on the Anubrak and Kirnash respectively. But here's where 1-4 already being threatened. Sonic Arrow will come down for even more clear, just trying to survive. That bottom lane is even pressing too.
Yeah, keep your eyes on this. There you go. So that is where the play is going to happen anywhere. You already see all those pings out from Liquid. They know Dragon's Arrow is a bit of a whip there as it goes through the uprights. Howling Blast ends up landing. Lunar Flare out is the follow-up route out from Neurok. Homicidal is going to be the focus. He has to drop the bunker. Now Inferno there with another 2-minute Howling Blast stops the retreat. Garrosh is able to get out of that cocoon. And Liquid, a lot of fireworks here, but no kills to be found.
Bottom has to be responded to, and Team Liquid instantly rotates up, and this is that double fort play they're looking to make if they get a step out. That building that 13 to 11 window. And right now they've caught out Hami. No bunker this time. Sabo will come out. Hami will fall. That's going to be kill number 1. And Sportbilly on that garage will walk away with 40 plus over. Another root landed by Eternal. No follow-up there, but the damage done here for Team Liquid as they continue their assault with 5 kills to 0.
And it's very important to highlight that though that was maybe a moment where when you looked at the health bars where you're like, can Heroes Heart get a recovery here? Is this a 1-for-1 trade? That macro setup with the bottom lane pressure, the only reason Heroes Heart wasn't willing to commit any more resources is because Mac was too busy trying to get the clear on bottom. Understandably so, but let's just say that there's a Zeratul there and that pressure isn't there. Void Prison turned it around, and I think Heroes Heart had a chance, but not able to make it happen there. J-Howe, it feels like this game is about one skirmish away, one turning away from getting out of control, and Heroes Heart being sent home.
Let's slow the bottom up. Time for Ishbu to get the turn in. That's the first one. We were here a Heroes Heart fan. You are very happy about that. But that 13 is now picked up by Team Liquid. Dreadless will buy back some experience. It will buy back time to get back into the game and get some experience and try to come back. But it's not just one turn in. They're going to need a second. They're going to need a team fight to start to make things happen. Sword really just walks forward and is daring anybody on Heroes Heart to answer that call.
And because Heroes Heart has, you know, struggled so heavily in wave clear and any kind of macro pressure at all, these Webweavers are very, not only easy to clear at certain moments with bottom spawning a mile back, mid being an easy cleanup for Liquid, it makes top very predictable when it comes to capabilities and the transitions out from Heroes Heart. So yes, the Webweaver buying a bit of time and a bit of experience, but I would have liked to see them find a way to get that top lane pressure a bit more. Otherwise, Liquid is going to drop another Webweaver phase, and I'm not sure Heroes Heart can rely on the 13 talents here.
Well, that bottom Webweaver will be responded to by Eternal. See if Heroes Heart can maybe make a rotation here into the top, and Team Liquid will have none of it. Their positioning safe, deliberate, and in control here. Heroes Heart looking for an opening, an opportunity to take a team fight to get back into this.
It might happen. Lunar Flare, there's the indomitable little well used. That's actually pulling the trigger a smidge early there from Ocelot. Now that biggest cooldown in the world, but it is something at this level, JL. Even if you don't have weight clear 3-4, that's a problem at the international stage at this caliber. So we'll see if Heroes Heart can find a way to get the upper hand. Still no 13. Infield comes through. And we see the Void Prison, the isolation, and Sport Belly's down.
Here's number one. They're on the hostile lock, so he gets the tie in. We're trying to make the play, but he's going to need a response. And the damage, the bunker will buy an escape option is McIntyre barely getting out of there. That's one kill there, Dreadnought. As good as it feels for Heroes Heart, that is just one. They have enough for another turn. They need so much more.
They do need so much more, but we also have to bring up what we talked about in the draft. As this game moves on, that Zeratul Mountain is better and better for the Zeratul. Hold on, through there, thrown out, he's moving in a fast spot. McIntyre with the threat onto the backline. Dragon Pharaoh, again, is going to be missing there. McIntyre trying to cut away, but he's going down. He'll teleport for a second to Lunar Flare. Stay alive! There comes out the Salvo!
Salvo with the slow is going to be enough to get some damage in. That's going to be one kill on the Rowan. And so far, that is 2 misses on the Dragon Arrow. If either of those lands, the fights could look entirely different. But Team Liquid making counterplay after counterplay will turn that fight.
It will turn the fight and continue mounting this pressure against Heroes Heart Esports. Not only the structures and the kills early on, but now a third Weaver phase. This will be able to pick up 16 talents here for Team Liquid. Heroes Heart has to find a way within the window of getting the Void Prison to force the fight and win a fight. Otherwise, you're looking at keeps.
See if Team Liquid can get there because they're also close to 16, which is a very big threat. Hatsu has multiple options, whether he gets the root of his own or whether he goes into that armor reduction to try and push somebody up. It is such a impact talent here for this Jaina. The Starfall will come down, the Dragons of Wave Clear, the Blizzard comes down, Team Liquid will move forward, and as one of these fall, 16 will be picked up momentarily. Now Team Liquid in the driver's seat, but Heroes Heart, they're holding for now.
Yeah, pretty good clear there over that, as we see on the side making the transition down to be able to deal with that bottom lane. Keep your eyes on McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. He's a lot of the threat when it comes to this anti-siege moment with the wormhole, like moving up, getting threat onto Hatsu and friends. Howling Blaster used on the Crow, and McIntyre all in, adjusting and rid of that Weaver. Cocoon dropped, and now the focus here for Liquid goes towards the keep starting to fall. Team Liquid just moving forward. If they get one kill, they'll look to get another. Try and control it. There's going to be the toss at the top.
Dragon Arrow in response to Nature's Cure will buy the soft cleanse there. We'll have a reset. More roots coming in from Eternal as the keep just being sieged on this entire time will fall. There's a major advantage for Team Liquid.
Major advantage for Liquid, but the 16 window is realistic now. Actually, take a minute. No, it's not. Sport Belly with a groundbreaker. Bumper out too late. Homicidal now is going to be the next to lie victim at that hand. Forcing out the Void Prison now for McIntyre. Things falling, crumbling here for Heroes Heart.
This boss time tried out with 2 members dead. OVP now. They are going to turn their attention towards that boss. When I keep exposed, mind you, this is an early boss. It does not guarantee, but the odds are high. The Team Liquid might try and end the game with this boss push and move on into the round of 4.
And a lot of that is very realistic due to that lack of Void Prison from McIntyre. Normally a 14-minute boss on 2, you say 5 seconds of downtime, we can't handle this, we can't siege this. But now it is very realistic here to threaten it out. And as we talk about Weavers is a denial from Heroes Heart Esports, but this is just a kind of almost wasted, if you will, of gems. 55 are going to go in, but it's just to make sure that Liquid doesn't dominate with this boss control on top.
It feels bad because you have to make that call. Good to them, but Jaina just bursting through this. The boss push, Team Liquid moving forward. Dragon Arrow available. If they look to take a fight, Heroes Heart in the midst of boss.
Belly down.
One Angels out the top the root. They get the bomb. Wanda, Maneuver, they're going to look for more. Team Liquid onto the core, trying to take this series right now.
They're looking to be able to take out the shields now onto the core. Jeffrey's in there. We see the flip over. Arcader shields falling low with the full back. Bunker goes down 65%, and it looks like the damage is going to be there. JL, and it looks like Team Liquid will send home North America's #1 seed, Heroes Heart Esports, in a 2-1 victory.
Team Liquid just coming out, firing after game number 2, showing why they are one of the best that we have.